What's up? What's our intro? I think we should just like talk and laugh and then... That's how she sings though.
That's how I sing though.
For my Instagram people, we're going live. We're going to give some information on how to become a loan officer. As you guys saw in my previous post, we did post about Dunamis team is hiring.
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. Oh, today's Taco Tuesday.
Today is Taco Tuesday.
Ooh.
So we're going to taco about how to become a loan officer.
J, because that's for Jesus.
Exactly. You got to have that every single morning.
Amen. Hallelujah. Holla back, Lord.
He does holla back all the time.
You is right.
All right, well, when do we get started, Danny? Tell us. Well, welcome to Dunamis Dream Team Podcast. This is Natalie Maldonado, tu prestamista favorita.
This is Yuma. Sing along with Yuma.
Y el día de hoy we're going to talk about how to become a loan officer.
Yes.
And also, how did I become a loan officer? How did Yuma become a loan officer? Y si tú estás buscando, if you're looking, to another career, if you're interested in becoming a loan officer, or what we do in the office as well, I think that this is a good team for you. Pero
Yes.
that's just me because I'm the boss. I don't know what
She is a
Yuma
boss.
has to say about, our office or how we work here.
Yes.
But yeah, go ahead.
So, hi guys, my name is Yuma. Just so that you guys can kind of know a little bit about me, I originally started in the mortgage industry for about, I want to say, close to 3 years. I started off as a processor and then essentially worked my way down to becoming a loan officer. There's a couple of things in between, but we can always talk about that in a little bit. Mm-hmm. Other than that, guys, Dunamis team is... It's a piece of heaven. So if you're looking somewhere, if you're looking for something and somewhere to stay there long term, if you're looking to be a part of a team that really cares about you, that is not like a shark or anything or the Shark Tank or anything along those lines. We truly care about one another here.
¿Cuánto tiempo es el promedio para convertirse en loan officer, en prestamista hipotecario? Bueno, yo empecé en el 2021 y empecé como asistente de prestamista y a los 2 meses pasé mi licencia. No fue porque...
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good timing, bro.
Pero duré 2 meses porque obviamente estaba trabajando con un equipo que hacía préstamos, estaba trabajando con agentes de bienes y raíces, con clientes, tomando aplicaciones y ciertas cosas así. Entonces, obviamente, mientras estaba estudiando, ¿verdad? Pude tener esa ventaja de poder trabajar con gente que ya sabía de la industria y aprender el lenguaje, porque siendo, loan officer, siendo prestamista, tienes que aprender un cierto lenguaje. Es como cualquier profesión, ¿correcto?
Yes.
Los doctores tienen su lenguaje, cualquier persona tiene su propio lenguaje. Yo no sabía absolutamente nada, pero obviamente con un equipo que, como decía Yuma, que te empuja, un equipo que obviamente le importa tu educación, le importa tu carrera, con gente adecuada te van a empujar a hacer lo que tienes que hacer.
Yes.
So, yo agarré mi licencia en 2 meses después de que empecé a estudiarla. La pasé con 75%, así al panzazo. Y después de ahí empezó mi my journey, mi aventura de ser prestamista hipotecaria.
Wow, 2 meses, 2 months is very good timing, sis.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dude.
The reason why 2 months is, there must have been like a reason, a motivation behind that, right?
There was.
I feel like a lot of the times when we're starting a new career, we don't know exactly, what's the why behind it, right? And then coming into this industry, it's really competitive, right? So 2 months, girl.
I know.
Kudos to you. And on the first time?
No, on the second time.
Yeah.
Second time, yeah.
Well, 2 months is still good, dude. Like, honestly, yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of people who take years, So it really just depends on you. When it comes down to the first question that Natalie mentioned, how long does it take to become a loan officer? It's really up to you. A lot of the questions, when you come into the industry, it's always like, what's your why behind it? Like, what motivates you, wanting to get into this industry? Because there is a lot of money to make. The sun shines for everybody, and so I truly believe it's really up to you when it comes down to your your motives as to why you want to become a loan officer, and not only your motives behind it, but like the people that you want to impact. I'm not sure if you're probably like a first generation where you're a first time home buyer, or you want to help other people become a first time home buyer, and you being that middleman who can help other people achieve that goal. So it's there's a lot of factors when it comes down to the timing and becoming a loan officer. It's really up to you. I know that when I started, I originally I started with this lending. It was retail company called Amerisave Mortgage. They're similar to Rocket Mortgage, if you guys are familiar with the mortgage industries out there. But when I originally started with them, this was when in 2020. So 2020, everything was booming, and people were hiring left and right. Interest rates were low, so
super low.
So I mean, there was all these companies that were willing to invest into their upcoming loan officers. And when I started with them, everything was virtual, because obviously this was during the pandemic, and it was really tough. Well, at least in my situation, it was tough for me to pass the first time around, because of the fact that we were in a virtual room of 200 people. So can you imagine being in a room, in a virtual room with 200 people, and everybody's trying to, aim for the same goal, but you have all these questions and you can't ask because, you're afraid to stop and get receive the questions that, or the answers, I'm sorry, that you would like, right? So, with that being said, I feel like because I wasn't asking enough questions, I wasn't, really trying to dive in. I think I was, my motives were a lot different. It was more about the money and trying to get the money. And I think, being believers of God, God sees our hearts. So he's like, homegirl, maybe,
I'm gonna humble you real quick.
Exactly, So I just feel like God was just like, it's not your time yet. So what I ended up doing was, since I didn't pass the first time around, obviously we had to part ways with the company, because they did invest in your education, being a loan officer. And the good thing about it was that I had already completed what I needed to complete in order for me to take the test, right? But I was like, you know what? It's not God's timing, So I decided to essentially get into the mortgage processing of it, and this was in 2020 as well with Chase. So I learned everything retail processing, not brokerage, but retail processing, and everything was really organized. Everything was like really, really good, within that system. And I through that process, I've learned a lot of skill sets. But I also, I continued to study, and it wasn't till 8 months later down the road where I ended up passing my test.
Wow.
A third time around, though. So in between that, I took my test and I failed the first and the second time, of course. And it was really heavy. But I knew that I wanted to become a loan officer, and I studied really hard for it. And in between that time, I was unmotivated. I was like, man, like, why?
Yeah, I think that's very important, right? For people to, like, in our office, I decided, because I never had training, I decided to build something, decidí estructurar algo para el equipo o la gente que le gustaría hacer prestamistas hipotecarios, crear un sistema donde podíamos entrenarlos. Todos los viernes tenemos entrenamiento de cómo hacerte prestamista hipotecario. Entonces, yo quise crear un sistema por eso específicamente, para motivarlos, para alzar su confianza, su seguridad de que sí se puede. Acabamos de tener una persona que ha estado conmigo desde el año pasado, y Liz, que acaba de pasar su examen hace 2 semanas, y fue, pues, como, esa pregunta es, ¿cuál es el promedio? Pues en realidad depende de ti. Tiene mucha razón lo que dice Yuma, porque mi motivo fue que era la única asistente de los prestamistas. Es más, ni siquiera había prestamistas. Yo tenía que ir por esa licencia porque, pues, hay muchas regulaciones, muchas reglas, muchas cosas legales en la cual tú tienes que tener tu licencia para hablar de ciertas cosas. Y yo sabía que estaba limitada sin tener esa licencia. Entonces, el por medio, tienes que estar motivada, tienes que saber tus razones, tus motivos por qué lo haces, y tienes que tener gente que te empuje, que te motive, para que no pases por eso, para que no te desanimes, para que no te sientas que, esto no es para mí. Lo traté, I tried it out, it's not for me. No. Vamos a ir con la siguiente pregunta. Dice, ¿hay algún costo para ser un loan officer? Is there a price to be a loan officer? Of course, todo tiene precio, menos la salvación.
Amén.
Todo tiene un precio. O sea, como prestamista hipotecario, tú puedes generar un muy buen ingreso. Muy buen ingreso. Y no solamente eso, pero puedes crecer mucho en una compañía. Eso es lo que me encantó de ser prestamista. Yo gasté en un total, se me hace que de unos $680 con todo. O sea, con mis cursos, con mi licencia, obviamente es una licencia que te da el estado de Arizona, y obviamente es una licencia que está cubierta por el gobierno. Entonces, tú tienes que asegurarte de que todo esté tal cual como esté tu identificación, tu ID. Y ustedes saben, como uno mexicano, pues yo tengo 4 nombres. Entonces, me cobraron como $150 para corregir mi nombre. Entonces, te hacen un background check, haces tu curso, fingerprints, todo eso cuesta, pero gasté aproximadamente unos $680 con el curso, con la licencia, con los fingerprints, con todo lo que se requiere.
Even with the application?
Even with the application. 680, around 680. ¿A ti?
I think I invested a little bit more. But it was because of the times that I failed the test.
Ándale, porque cada vez que repruebas el examen, tienes que pagar otra vez de nuevo, como 100 y algo, ¿no?
Como 120.
Para hacer el examen de nuevo. Ahí te gastaste como 380.
Son
360.
1,200 por ahí.
Sí.
And time too. All the time that you have to invest, studying. One of the important things too, besides the money that you're going to be spending, is also the time that you're going to be spending studying and learning all the laws and all the regulations that's specifically for mortgages. It's not about, you memorizing what you just learned. It's more about the understanding of the laws, of the regulations, and all of that. So that comes as a cost too, because it's time, it's time consuming. I'm pretty sure that when you studied, you were like on your head was in the book all day long.
Yes.
And it's very rewarding at the end of the day, because either way, like when you think about it, you're like, oh man, I put this time, this sweat, and I'm pretty sure tears, because you're like, God, like I want to pass this already. And once you get to that point where you pass, you're like, there's just this like really big relief in your life.
Yes, you're like, but then it comes back, okay, what do I do next? ¿Ya? ¿Qué voy a hacer siguiente? La próxima pregunta es, ¿qué es más recomendable? ¿Tener un equipo para hacer el examen de loan officer, o mejor hacer el examen primero y luego buscar un equipo para trabajar? I'll let you answer that one.
So me personally, I prefer a team. I prefer team 100, 1000%. Reasons for it is because whenever you are feeling down, and you have to be with the correct team. It's not just, being in a like a team that's like, because, okay, let me just put it this way. When you come into the mortgage industry, like I said earlier, it's competitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have people who will be like, oh, okay, you passed your license, that's cool, but they're not willing to put in the investment in
Mm-hmm.
you,
Mm-hmm.
to help you grow. And I think prior to, like, if you're looking to get into the industry and you don't know nothing, we like being a part of a team that truly cares, and Dunamis is this team where they care and they are willing to push, the people that are aiming to be in this career. And I've seen it myself. I came in Dunamis with the license, but seeing everybody else that's working towards that, we motivate them. Prior to that, I know that the girls were already working with you, and they were just they have so many great things to say. And I think having a team behind you and really like just pushing you to and believing with you that you are gonna be what you want to be, like, I think that's so important. So having a team, if I had that, I'm pretty sure that I would have gotten my license a lot more sooner, but
Yeah.
obviously, when I took this route, it was just me by myself. I didn't have anybody to be like, hey, you might echale ganas, like, you got this. I had to self-motivate myself to keep on going. But a team, definitely, look for a team that cares about you. And if we're hiring, so
Yeah.
come be a part. But yeah, I honestly, coming into Dunamis, and like, even that I have my license, there's times where you do want to throw the towel and be like, peace out, like, I don't want to deal with this, but it really has nothing to do with everybody else. It's mainly you as a person, internally. Because a lot of the times we may come from other industries, and we were always taught, that maybe dreaming too big is too much, or like, or anything like that. And when you come in and you're part of a team where they're believing in you and believing with you, like, it's like, what, like, that's crazy,
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for being a part of it. I'm grateful for being part of this team. But definitely a team, I would choose a team.
Sí, definitivamente, porque como dice Yuma, hay muchos lugares en donde hay mucha gente muchos bancos que han tratado de también, obviamente, meternos a nosotros, ofrecernos algo para meternos a su equipo. Y lo primero que siempre pregunto es, bueno, ¿qué le ofreces a los nuevos prestamistas? O a la gente que quiere ser un prestamista. Y me dicen nada. So, por eso yo aquí en Dunamis creamos un sistema donde yo me quiero enfocar en la gente que quiere esta carrera, que quiere ser prestamista hipotecario. ¿Por qué? Porque, cuando tú ya tienes tu licencia y vienes de otras industrias o de diferentes bancos, tú ya vienes con tus mañas, tú ya vienes con tus creencias, tú ya vienes con una manera de trabajar, y vienes a un lugar y te sacan de tu zona de confort, o te sacan de esas mañas, y uno se estanca, como que, así no lo hacía ya. Entonces, por eso mi enfoque no estoy diciendo que si tienes una licencia ya que no puedes ser parte de nuestro equipo, no. Pero aquí definitivamente yo soy una persona que no soy how do you say it? I'm not a boss, I'm a leader. O sea, yo le digo yo te voy a guiar en cómo, cómo hacer eso. Hay gente que trabaja aquí que agarró su licencia después de 5 años. Tenemos un prestamista que después de 5 años, él nos dijo la importancia de tener un equipo atrás de ti, porque si no fuera sido por estos entrenamientos, por esta motivación, por este equipo, no hubiera pasado mi licencia. Entonces, tenemos a gente que tienen different backgrounds, que cada uno tiene su propia historia, pero pues definitivamente necesitas a un equipo.
Yes.
A un equipo. La gente siempre lo hace al revés.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get my license and then I'm gonna find a team. Realtors también. I'm gonna get my license y luego voy a buscar con quién es el mejor equipo. No, busca el equipo que te va a ayudar, que te va a motivar, que te va a empujar, que te va a ayudar a creer en ti mismo. O sea, yo la primera vez que yo que no pasé el examen, una persona le llamé a un amigo no es amigo. Y me dijo, un niño de kinder podría haber pasado ese examen. ¿Tú sabes cuánto me destrozó mi corazón haber escuchado eso? Y dije, ¿sabes qué? Dije, me voy a enfocar en lo bueno. Voy a ser yo positiva conmigo mismo, me voy a motivar, voy a cambiar mi manera de pensar. Y para la próxima yo sé que lo voy a pasar. No me importa cómo lo pase, cuánto agarre, pero lo voy a pasar. Y así lo hice. Entonces muchas veces es tu mente, tú eres tu propio enemigo, muchas veces tu mente te dice que no lo puedes hacer o te quieres dar por vencido rápido en algo que entras. Esto de ser prestamista no es fácil, no es fácil. Todo lo que tiene una buena causa o todo lo que tiene una buena recompensa en cuestión de libertad, en cuestión de dinero, de lo que sea, tienes que hacer sacrificio, tienes que hacer un sacrificio grande, pero luego vas a recoger lo que tú siembras. La próxima pregunta es, ¿cuál es el mejor momento para ser un loan officer? That's a good question. ¿Cuál es el mejor momento para ser un loan officer? En todo momento.
Yeah.
En todo momento. Cuando nosotros empezamos esta industria, y lo digo nosotros porque Yuma también empezó en el refi boom, ¿verdad? O sea, que la pandemia pasó, los intereses estaban súper bajos, que nomás quiero aclarar algo, que nunca en la vida van a estar así de bajos otra vez, al menos que pase otra pandemia, ¿ok? Porque las reservas federales, no, es que tenemos que aclarar esto porque la gente piensa que los intereses van a bajar a un 3% más bajo. No, eso pasó porque una pandemia mundial se generó aquí, pues, en Estados Unidos y en todas partes. Entonces las reservas federales lo que hicieron fueron no dar interés, el banco daba el interés, y ahora, pues, cuando uno entró en ese tiempo, la gente estaba llama para refinanciar su casa, comprar casa y esto y el otro. Pero ahora, ¿verdad? Tú te das cuenta quién en realidad es un verdadero prestamista.
Yes.
O sea, ahora en este tiempo que el mercado cambió y que hay una demanda muy alta de casas en Arizona, ahora te das cuenta quién en realidad sí era para Entonces la pregunta, pues, es en todo momento. En realidad tú eres el que marcas la diferencia en la gente. Tú eres el que marcas la diferencia en tu carrera. Entonces, what's a good time? Anytime. Anytime you choose to, a cualquier tiempo que tú decidas hacer prestamista, ese es el mejor tiempo.
Yeah, I agree to that too, because I mean, if you can afford it now, why wait?
Why not?
You know, why do? And here's the thing too, is like a lot of people, like being in the industry, I know a lot of people have left. A lot of people have left, even realtors.
Even companies.
Yeah, companies, that's right. And I just think, I think that you truly get molded as a professional, as an entrepreneur. Sorry if I'm not saying that right.
Entrepreneur.
I think you get molded in the toughest times.
Yes.
As a company, as a team, as an individual, you get really molded because you come across difficult situations. And it's all about being creative, like having creativity and and you know what's crazy, a lot of people, and this is for all real estate and mortgages, I know because I've seen it all, but you come across people who that were making money during the pandemic, right? And it was one of the seasons of their career where they just all became lazy.
Yes.
And people I mean, we're used to getting things handed to us, you know, and unfortunately in this career, that's not how it works. It works like you need to put the time, the effort, you need to truly dig deep and try to find you know, different things or different outcomes for every client that you're working with, for everything, you know. And there's people that are being still qualified in this market, and they're not having any issues, and they're excited because they're, you know, first time home buyer or second time home buyer, you know, whatever, wherever they're at. But it depends. It's all about mentality.
Yes,
it's definitely all about a mentality. So
it is.
The best moment to become a loan officer is really up to you, whether or not you're willing to put in the work.
Yeah, because it is a tough market right now. Actually, here at Dunamis seems like it's hard. Well, the next question is, ¿cómo cambia la vida siendo un loan officer? ¿Cómo cambia la vida siendo un loan officer? I mean, cambió mi vida por completo. Y déjenme decirles por qué. Porque cuando yo estaba, first of all, I dropped out. Yo me salí de la escuela cuando tenía 14 años. I know. O sea,
I didn't know that about you.
Sí, me salí de la escuela cuando tenía 14 años. Tuve un accidente en el 2000. Tuve un accidente cuando tenía 17 años que me hizo regresar a la escuela. El juez me dijo, o trabajas o regresas a la escuela y te gradúas. Y dije, no, pues yo no voy a trabajar, soy hija de papi, me voy a ir a la escuela. Entonces, en realidad, a mí nunca me gustó estudiar, no me gustó, o sea, aprender cosas nuevas. Tenía una mentalidad muy mediocre. Y cuando se me presenta la oportunidad de ser prestamista, como les digo, después de haber recibido esa llamada de una persona que, o sea, que me dijo, hasta una persona de kinder podría haber pasado ese examen, dije, ¿sabes qué? Hoy decido cambiar mi mentalidad.
Yes.
Perdón for tapping. Hoy decido cambiar mi mentalidad. ¿Por qué? Porque, como les digo, transformó mi vida. Y no solamente eso, pero la satisfacción que te da cuando tú cambias la vida de alguien más. Yes. Porque aparte, o sea, la inversión más grande que una familia puede tener o que una familia puede obtener es la compra de una casa. Ese es el préstamo más grande, al menos que vayas a comprar, no sé, aún cosas más grandes, ¿no? Pero la inversión más grande o la satisfacción más grande es poder ayudar a la gente. Y cambió mi vida en el aspecto de que mi enfoque nunca fue el dinero en esta industria, nunca fue el dinero. En realidad, mi papá lo deportaron por la falta de información y de conocimiento en el mundo de bienes y raíces. Eso, cuando yo crecí, me di cuenta, ¿sabes qué? Yo le quiero informar a mi comunidad, a mi gente hispana, yes. Darle la información adecuada. Eso me cambió la vida. Porque ahora que miro a otra gente saber, o sea, saliendo con una precalificación para ir a comprar su casa, sabiendo que voy a cambiarle la vida a otra persona, no solamente a otra persona, a mi equipo, o sea, dándoles una oportunidad de ser mejor, de seguir sus sueños, de alcanzar sus sueños, de que no hay nada que te pueda limitar, sino que solamente tú. Eso me ha cambiado toda la vida. Obviamente me he tomado mis vacaciones, salgo cada mes a México a visitar a mis papás, nos vamos de vacaciones, compro lo que anhelo, tengo la casa de mis sueños, tengo el carro de mis sueños, todo porque decidí cambiar mi manera de pensar, y esta industria me ha permitido cambiar mi vida. Esta industria me ha permitido cambiar vidas, esta industria me ha permitido soñar grande, y pues it changed my life. Yeah. It changed my life.
I see that. That's really good. I have yet to experience that because of the mentality that I came in the industry. So, coming into Dunamis, I've changed my mentality. Do I have certain habits still where I'm like, man, like this is not gonna work or it's not gonna happen, you know? But at the end of the day, it's like does it change your mind? Does it change your mindset? Yes, it does. It does, because if you've never worked for anything in your entire life, dude, this industry will completely change you. Yeah. And it's always, I look at it as it's always for the better. Obviously, depending with who you surround yourself with, you know. But aside of like having the opportunity to buy the things that you want and things like that, you make connections, genuine connections with the clients. You, I mean, for example, like we have this one client where he was upset, but I think when we start believing in them and we start like depositing a lot of positive things into their life, they really take that with, I can't say a grain of salt, but they really take that in, because it's like, man, like I'm making the biggest investment of my life. And because I'm making the big investment of my life, I'm trusting you, I'm trusting you to lead me through this process. And even that, it changes your life, because it's like, wow, like somebody is depending on me. Somebody is depending on me to make the biggest choice of their life. You know, and as a person who's licensed, as a person who's in this career, you always want to make sure that everything you're doing is for the better of the person that you're helping.
Yes.
And so, does it change your life? Yes, it changes your mentality. It changes everything. But yeah, I love this industry. I love it because of the people that I get to work with. So that's the best part. Otherwise, I mean, I don't think I would be here. But, yeah.
Y la otra pregunta es, ¿necesitas seguro social para ser prestamista? Yes, you do. Necesitas, porque, pues como les digo, es una licencia que te da el Estado, es una licencia que está respaldada por el gobierno y pues, también por los Estados Unidos. Se requiere una licencia, se requiere tener seguro social. ¿Por qué? Porque hacen un background check, te revisan tu crédito, te revisan absolutamente todo. So, quieren saber quién eres tú, porque obviamente, como decíamos hace ratito, o sea, tú estás transformando vidas, tú estás haciendo que la gente cumpla sus sueños de poder adquirir una casa. Entonces, es una de las inversiones más grandes, y al tú tener una licencia, pues obviamente quieren saber quién le está dando a esa persona esa inversión, ese préstamo. Sí, se necesita seguro social para poder ser prestamista hipotecario. Yeah. Yes. Y se me hace que todas...
what about, I think permanent residence too.
Yes. Sí, también. Well, actually, yo era residente cuando... Yo era residente cuando me hice prestamista.
Oh, well, they do have socials.
Sí. Y en el 2020, last year I think it was, or 2021. Sorry.
2022.
I don't even know when I became a citizen. Yeah. Entonces, DACA.
That's a great question.
That's a great question.
We can definitely respond that
in the next podcast.
Okay,
well, we're gonna be, ya vamos a cerrar este episodio de cómo hacerte prestamista hipotecario. Muchísimas gracias por haberte conectado con nosotros. Gracias, Yuma, por tu tiempo. Gracias por compartir tu experiencia. Sí, de nada. Y pues si usted tiene una pregunta, si tienes alguna pregunta, una duda, pues pregúntanos. Pon tus comentarios. Ask us any questions. And we will answer them in the next podcast. Oh, y síguenos en nuestras redes sociales. Yo soy Natalie Loans en Instagram, Natalie Maldonado en Facebook.
Yes, I am Alone with Yuma on Instagram.
Sing alone.
Sing along with Yuma.
Sing along with Yuma. Y también síguenos en Dunamis Dream Team. Because we are Dunamis Dream Team. So, síguenos en nuestras redes sociales, en YouTube también, Dunamis Dream Team. Por favor, suscríbete, pon tus notificaciones on para que puedas mantenerte informes de todos los podcasts que vamos a tener. Ok.
Yes.
Bye.
That was easy. 34 minutes, dude. That was so sweating. Oh my gosh, the live is still on. I'm so sorry, guys.
The live still on, yes.
Well, bye, my IG people.
Bye.